Marcus Thompson rubbed his tired eyes and pushed away from his computer screen. Another 14-hour coding session had left him drained, but the freelance project deadline waited for no one. At 32, he had grown accustomed to the solitary life in the old farmhouse he'd inherited from his grandfather. The isolation suited him perfectly after his messy breakup with Jennifer. 6 months ago, the house creaked around him as evening settled into night. These old wooden bones had their own language, one Marcus had learned over the past year. But tonight, something was different. Rhythmic tapping echoed from above, coming from the attic he rarely visited. Marcus grabbed a flashlight and climbed the narrow stairs. The attic stretched across the entire house, filled with decades of forgotten belongings. Dust particles danced in his flashlight beam as he searched for the source of the noise. Then he saw it. A section of the roof had been damaged, and something metallic gleamed in the far corner as he approached. His breath caught. What he had initially thought was debris from a fallen satellite was actually a sleek pod, roughly the size of a small car. Surface seemed to pulse with a faint ethereal glow. Before Marcus could process what he was seeing, a seam appeared along the pod's surface, and it began to open with a soft hiss. Steam escaped from within. Through the mist, a figure emerged. Marcus stumbled backward, his flashlight beam wavering. The being before him was undeniably female, with luminescent skin that shifted between pale blue and silver. Her hair cascaded in waves of deep purple, and her eyes held the depth of distant stars. She wore a form-fitting suit that seemed to be made of liquid starlight itself. Despite her otherworldly appearance, there was something achingly beautiful and familiar about her features. When their eyes met, Marcus felt an inexplicable connection, as if he'd been waiting his entire life for this moment. "Please don't be afraid," she said, her voice carrying a melodic quality that seemed to resonate in his chest. "My name is Zara, and I mean you no harm." Marcus tried to speak, but found his voice had abandoned him. Zara took a tentative step forward, her movements graceful, despite what must have been a traumatic landing. "You are Marcus Thompson, are you not? I have been searching for someone like you." "Like me?" Marcus finally managed to croak out. "Yes." Zara smiled, and it was like watching sunrise over an alien horizon. "Someone with a kind heart and an open mind. Someone who can help me." The absurdity of the situation should have sent Marcus running, but instead, he found himself drawn to this mysterious being. There was something in her eyes, a vulnerability, mixed with strength, that spoke to something deep within him. Over the next few days, Marcus helped Zara recover from her crash landing. She had sustained minor injuries that healed remarkably quickly, her body seeming to regenerate at an accelerated rate. During her recovery, they spent hours talking, sharing stories of their respective worlds. Zara explained that she was a scout from Kepler 44 to B, a planet her people called Aurelia. Her mission was to find suitable worlds for her dying civilization, but more importantly, to locate individuals who might serve as cultural bridges between species. Her people had been monitoring Earth's broadcasts for decades, learning about human nature and emotion. "Your species fascinates us," Zara explained as they sat by the fireplace, her skin catching the warm glow of the flames. "You feel so deeply, love so fiercely. My people have advanced far beyond physical needs. We've lost something precious in the process, the ability to truly connect with one another." Marcus found himself captivated by her stories of Aurelia, a world of crystalline cities and floating gardens. But more than that, he was drawn to Zara herself. Despite their obvious differences, they shared a similar loneliness, a sense of being outsiders in their own worlds. "I've always felt like I didn't quite fit in," Marcus admitted one evening, as they walked around his property. "Maybe that's why I became a programmer. It's easier to understand code than people." Zara reached out and gently touched his hand. The contact sent warmth spreading up his arm, but it was more than physical. It was as if she could see directly into his soul. "Perhaps that's exactly what makes you perfect for bridging our worlds. You understand what it means to be different, to search for belonging." Their conversations grew more intimate as days passed. Zara shared memories of her world through a telepathic connection that left Marcus breathless. He experienced the beauty, of Aurelia's twin suns setting over crystal spires, felt the harmony of her people's collective consciousness, and understood the deep sadness that had driven her to seek something more. In return, Marcus showed her the simple pleasures of human life, the taste of fresh strawberries from his garden, the feeling of rain on skin, the warmth of genuine laughter. With each shared experience, the distance between them seemed to shrink. One evening, as they sat on the porch watching Earth's single moon rise, Zara moved closer to Marcus. On my world, we form connections through touch and shared consciousness. But with you, I feel something different, something more profound. Marcus turned to face her, seeing his own feelings reflected in her star-filled eyes. I've never felt anything like this either. Their first kiss happened naturally, as if the universe itself had orchestrated the moment. Under the starlit sky, Marcus and Zara discovered that love truly was a universal language. Her lips were soft and warm, and when they touched Marcus, felt as though he could see the cosmos through her eyes. "This is extraordinary," Zara whispered against his lips. "I can feel your emotions as if they were my own." Their relationship deepened over the following weeks. Marcus learned that Zara's species formed profound bonds through both physical and mental connection. When they made love for the first time, it was unlike anything Marcus had ever experienced. Their minds seemed to merge along with their bodies, creating a harmony that transcended the physical realm. Zara's touch was electric, sending waves of pleasure through Marcus that seemed to resonate on a cellular level. She could sense his every desire, anticipating his needs before he was even aware of them himself. In return, Marcus discovered he could somehow sense her emotions, feeling the depth of her love for him like a warm current flowing through his consciousness. "Your species calls it making love," Zara said afterward, her head resting on his chest. Her purple hair spread across his skin like silk. "But this feels like creating something entirely new, a bridge between our very souls." Marcus stroked her hair, marveling at how right this felt despite its impossibility. "I never believed in soulmates before you." During their intimate moments, Zara would share glimpses of her world's advanced technology and philosophy. Marcus, in turn, showed her the beauty of human creativity and emotion through his photography and music, hobbies he'd abandoned, but rediscovered through her eyes. Together, they worked on repairing her ship, which had been damaged during atmospheric entry. The craft was a marvel of bioengineered technology, grown rather than built, with systems that responded to thought and emotion. As Marcus helped with the repairs, learning to interface with technology that seemed alive, he felt himself changing, evolving. "You're becoming something new," Zara observed one day, as Marcus successfully communicated with the ship's organic computer. "Part human, part something else. It's a connection between us is transforming you." Marcus could feel it too, heightened awareness, enhanced intuition, and a growing ability to sense Zara's people when they communicated across the vast distances of space. But more than that, he felt complete in a way he never had before. Love grew stronger with each passing day, but both knew it couldn't last forever in this hidden paradise. Zara's people would eventually come looking for her. Decisions would need to be made. The day Marcus dreaded finally arrived. While working on the ship's communication array, it suddenly burst to life with signals from Zara's homeworld. Her people had been searching for her and had finally traced her location. "They're coming," Zara said, her usual composure cracking slightly. "The rescue ship will arrive within 2 of your days." Marcus felt his heart sink. "What happens then?" Zara turned away from the communication console, unable to meet his eyes. "I have a duty to my people. The mission must be completed, and us. What about what we've built together?" For the first time since he'd known her, Zara looked truly vulnerable. "My people, they wouldn't understand. Bonding with an alien species, even one as remarkable as humans, goes against our protocols." Marcus pulled her into his arms, feeling the familiar electric connection as their skin touched. "Then don't tell them it's a bond. Tell them it's research." Next day brought unexpected visitors. 3 sleek ships descended from the clouds, their organic hulls seeming to shift and flow like living tissue. They landed in Marcus's backfield with barely a whisper of sound. The beings that emerged were similar to Zara, but more austere. their features sharper and their movements more formal. Their leader, who introduced himself as Commander Thane, regarded Marcus with obvious skepticism. "Scout Zara," Thane said in perfect English, though his tone carried the weight of authority.
Your extended silence caused concern. We trust your mission parameters have been met.
Zara straightened, slipping into a more formal demeanor that broke Marcus's heart. "Yes, Commander. I have gathered extensive data on human social structures and emotional capacity." Thane's gaze shifted to Marcus. "And this specimen? It has been useful for your research?" The word specimen hit Marcus like a physical blow, but Zara stepped forward protectively. "Marcus Thompson has been invaluable to understanding human nature. His emotional depth and cognitive flexibility represent the best of his species." "Interesting," Thane mused. "Perhaps he could be useful for further study. We could bring him to Aurelia." Marcus felt a surge of hope, but Zara's expression grew troubled. "Commander, I must inform you that my research has led to unexpected developments." "Explain." Taking a deep breath, Zara reached for Marcus's hand. "I formed a bonded connection with Marcus. Our consciousness have merged in ways I didn't think possible between species." The silence that followed was deafening. Thane's expression grew cold, while the other Aurelians exchanged shocked glances. "That is inadvisable, Scout Zara," Thane said finally. "Such connections with primitive species could compromise your objectivity and duty to Aurelia." "Primitive?" Marcus stepped forward, anger overriding his fear. "Your people might be advanced technologically, but you've lost something humans still have. The ability to love without reservation, sacrifice everything for another being's happiness." Thane regarded Marcus with new interest. "You would sacrifice for Zara, even knowing the impossibility of your different natures?" In a heartbeat, Marcus replied without hesitation, "Love isn't about what's possible or logical. It's about choosing someone every day, regardless of the obstacles." Something shifted in Thane's expression. "You speak of love as a choice, rather than mere biological imperative." "Because it is," Marcus said passionately. "Zara didn't have to care about me, and I didn't have to open my heart to her. We chose each other, and we keep choosing each other every moment we're together." Zara squeezed his hand, her love flowing through their connection like warm sunlight. "Marcus has shown me what we've lost in our evolution, Commander. The willingness to be vulnerable, to risk everything for connection. His species may seem primitive, but they possess a strength we've forgotten." Thane was quiet for a long moment, studying the joined hands of the unlikely couple. "Your research was to find potential allies for Aurelia's survival," he said finally. "Perhaps you have found something more valuable, a path to reclaiming what we've lost." Over the following hours, Marcus found himself subjected to various tests and scans. The Aurelians were fascinated by the changes the bond with Zara had created in his physiology and consciousness. His brain showed new neural pathways, and his cellular structure had begun adapting to interface with Aurelian technology. "Remarkable," one of the scientists reported to Thane. "He's becoming a bridge between our species at the most fundamental level." Thane made his decision. "Marcus Thompson, you will come to Aurelia as our first human ambassador. Your bond with Zara has created possibilities we never imagined." The journey to Aurelia took weeks, even with the Aurelians advanced faster than light. Travel. Marcus spent the time learning about Zara's people and their struggles. Their civilization was indeed dying, not from war or disease, but from their own success. They had evolved beyond the need for physical connection, but in doing so, had lost the very thing that made life worth living. Aurelia itself was breathtaking, a world of impossible beauty where crystal cities floated among the clouds and gardens grew in the vacuum of space. But Marcus could see what Zara meant about her people's isolation. Despite their advanced society, there was a loneliness in their perfection. As the first human on Aurelia, Marcus became a sensation. His emotional openness and capacity for irrational love fascinated the Aurelians. Through his bond with Zara, he began teaching them forgotten lessons about connection, vulnerability, and the strength that came from choosing to care despite the risk of pain. Months passed, and Marcus found himself at the center of a renaissance of feeling among the Aurelians. Young ones began seeking him out, learning to form deeper connections with each other. Even Thane admitted that Marcus had brought something precious back to their world. "You have given us a gift beyond measure," Thane told Marcus and Zara at their bonding ceremony, an event that combined human and Aurelian traditions. "You've shown us that evolution isn't just about advancement, it's about holding on to what makes existence meaningful." Marcus and Zara exchanged vows under Aurelius' twin sons. Surrounded by beings from both their worlds, Marcus realized that love truly was the universe's most powerful force. It had taken a crash landing in his attic to show him that home wasn't a place, it was wherever Zara was. Whether on Earth or among the stars, their love story became legend among both humans and Aurelians. Proof that the greatest connections transcend species, worlds, and even the vast distances between stars. And as Earth and Aurelia began forming an alliance based on mutual understanding and shared growth, Marcus and Zara knew they had found something more precious than either. "I'd ever imagined a love that could bridge galaxies and unite civilizations." The end.